Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jawing About the G-Men, the Giants Football Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Big Jace, and we got a crew with us today. Joe Aguirre, King Zay, Ovi Muniz, as always, and we're joined by Lucas Bulldog from Posting Up Podcast every Tuesday and Saturday. Make sure you check that out if you're an NBA fan. We got a lot to talk about. It's sort of like a down period right now for the Giants. So we're not really talking about the Giants, but we have a lot in store, starting things off with the Drawing About the G-Men final season awards. We're going to start off with the Rookie of the Year, and we'll go ahead and let you go first with this, Lucas. For joining us, who is your Rookie of the Year this year in the NFL?
Oh, boy, I was hoping you'd pick me first because this is going to stir up a lot, especially with Joe, and I'm pretty sure he already knows where this is going. Mr. Justin Herbert is my Rookie of the Year. The guy looked absolutely solid. He threw 31 touchdowns to only 10 interceptions. And, while Joe does say that his argument of, he just hucks the ball, he's a gunslinger, I think Justin Herbert played pretty well. He completed 66% of his passes. And with a better coaching staff, that team's a borderline playoff team. And I think the Chargers definitely have their guy for the future in Justin Herbert. While Joe may disagree, and I don't know who else in here disagrees with me, but my pick's Justin Herbert.
Wrong. The answer is Justin Jefferson, who set a receiving record for rookies, eclipsing Anquan Bolton's record that had stood for 16 years. His 88 catches also set a new Vikings team record for rookies. He beat the record of Hall of Famer Randy Moss. He had 7 100-yard games, 7 touchdowns. By far the best rookie in the class, and it's not even close.
Joe, if you were to go back, rewind, and you had that number 1 overall pick, are you picking Justin Jefferson over Justin Herbert?
If I'm the Chiefs, yes, and I would have beat the Bills by 37 points this weekend.
Okay.
Next question.
All right. Ovi, do you agree with Joe or Lucas?
They both have valid points, but I would have gone with Burrow if he would have made it through the end of the season. But I got to tip my hat to Herbert. I mean, he said all the right things. I mean, like I said, they both have good arguments, but I will go for Herbert.
All right. Okay.
My bad.
What do you see, Zay? Who you guys Rookie of the Year?
Well, for me, it's Herbert. It was Herbert. I agreed with Ovi. At one point, it was Burrow for me. They were neck and neck in the beginning, but once he went down with the injury, it was Herbert. It's just, he kept his team in the games this year, and considering they didn't have much offensively, for me, that's all I needed to see out of him. And obviously, our guy, Calvin, for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to strongly disagree and point out that whenever Justin Herbert faced a good defense in the NFL, he played like garbage. His team had a losing record, you'll know. And he's, in my opinion, as I say, all quarterbacks, 100% responsible for that. Meanwhile, Justin Jefferson, again, a record-setting rookie year for a wide receiver, made Kirk Cousins look like a professional quarterback again. So he made 2 guys have better years. Justin Herbert, I'm sorry. Again, I've watched all the games this guy played in. He's okay. if you think he's going to be like the next big thing, I think you're all in for a rude awakening.
Okay. I mean, you guys all picked the Justins. I had a bunch of people on my list. Obviously, I had those two. But, I mean, one guy we did not talk about is a guy playing in the Super Bowl, or might be. He's injured right now in Antoine Winfield Jr. He's been playing really well. And that comment, you have Chase Young, who is dominating. But a guy who I'm going to go with for my Rookie of the Year, the best tackle in the state of New York, Mekhi Becton for the New York Jets. He has been the best player, the most consistent player on the New York Jets. He was the best offensive lineman, according to PFF, as their grading goes. But even just outside of just their bias, I mean, Mekhi Becton was by far the best.
He was hurt all the time.
Bro, they went 2-14. What in God's good name are you talking about? Sam Darnold had no time to throw the ball.
That's not true. That's not true. He didn't.
Oh my God!
This one man.
What are you even talking about?
It's a whole 5 people that need to protect one person. This man did everything.
We're live and we take questions, and sometimes we say ridiculous things. Mekhi Becton.
He is the best tackle.
What position? He's a tackle, right?
James, I would check your house for a gas leak. I mean, what in God's good name are you talking about?
You just haven't seen him play. You just haven't seen him play.
Oh, I've seen him play.
Nobody cares about the Jets.
Chase. I watched every game every weekend. I don't remember watching one Jets game going, you know the best freaking Rookie of the Year is? Mekhi Becton. I never thought that once.
How much are you looking at the offensive line when you're watching the game?
I'm watching the pressure like 80% of the time,
You're not watching this man dominate every D end in front of him.
I watched Justin Jefferson put up the best rookie wide receiver numbers in history. What are you talking about?
This man was the real
Somebody
deal.
call Connecticut, the Connecticut gas company. What are they?
You guys didn't talk about them. You didn't talk about Chase. I mean, you guys don't know. None of you guys played offensive line. You don't know how he played.
Whoa. Hold on. Time. We don't need to know how to play that position to know the position.
Yeah,
I just want to know. Hold on, Jace. Answer this. And I know you know the answer. Who was the last? Has there been any Rookie of the Year in that position in the NFL?
No. But I'm
we should never even talk about it.
He's that good.
Because if there's anything, I'm picking Jefferson if you're going to go through that, because what is the standards of being Rookie of the Year?
I don't know. Somebody says Tristan Wirfs was better. Your argument gets worse by the second.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, thank you. Here's another person that knows football. Thank you, Hector. Justin Jefferson. It's not even close. It's not even close. And Ovi, not for nothing.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
Joe Burrow played like 6 games.
Listen, well, first of all, if you would have heard me correctly, maybe you got to clean them ears real quick. That if he would have stayed for the whole season, he would have been the Rookie of the Year. But he did not, and we all know he got injured.
Yeah.
He actually led his team and won 4 straight games at the records. All right, but I say you both have good arguments. I respect you, both of you, but I picked Hebert or Herbert,
guys,
whatever his name is.
All right.
What's the difference?
Let me ask a question. Hold on. Let me ask a question. How many of you picked Conor McGregor to win the fight last weekend?
I did not watch the fight because it was a waste of money to pay.
Who did you think was going to win?
Connor.
Yeah, you all thought Connor. You know why you all thought that?
You
all thought that because ESPN was like, "Oh, Conor McGregor's going to win." Everybody was like, "Oh, Conor McGregor." I watched all the fights that the two of them have had over the last 6 years. Every single fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said Poirier's going to KO him in the second round. Bam.
Word. Bam.
I mean, you have to watch with your eyes, and you have to see what's happening, and that's how you decide.
So because we didn't pick Jefferson,
this isn't a lifetime achievement award. This isn't he was so good in college and he was great. Who cares?
But who's talking about college?
He played 6 really good games. I don't give a crap.
Who's saying all those things?
Dude,
No one's saying
Xavier
that.
McKinney played 2 games for the Giants, had an interception. I thought he looked great. He should have been the rookie of the year, maybe, if he would have played all 16 games. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I'm still not understanding why all this hostility that's coming in Joe's place right now.
It might have been.
Joe, yeah, I'm not sure why we're discussing like the possibilities. Who cares?
Joe took his head off.
Joe,
I'm just confused about the offensive tackle. I'm confused.
He's the best offensive tackle in that rookie class.
But does that make him rookie of the year?
He has played better. He has played at a higher level. Okay. My opinion. Listen to me. Let me give my explanation because y'all just keep coming at me. You don't let me explain. Listen.
So you want the second best tackle to be the rookie of the year? No, that doesn't make sense.
Tackle. He's the best rookie tackle. It doesn't. I mean, it sucks that he's on a bad team. That's the worst people that don't know how to play it. Tristan Wirfs didn't start getting things together till mid-season. Okay, this dude came in, and was competing on the Jets offense. I know we're talking about this guy. But, Joe, I mean, the same argument you made for Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier, you just obviously haven't seen tape on this kid. Because Mekhi Becton's a real deal. He's a legit tackle.
Wait, that doesn't make him the best.
He might be the best rookie. That's what I'm saying.
But he's not. He's not, because the best rookie was at a skill position at wide receiver, and he set all the rookie records. Like, that's what I'm explaining.
What records do they
and
keep?
His name was Justin Herbert.
Bro, did you have Justin Jefferson on any of your fantasy teams?
No.
There you go. That's why you don't know what's up.
I know how good.
Did you?
I did, yes, and I reaped the benefits. This kid's a stud.
Yes. All right. He is a stud. I'll give you that.
Win your fantasy league?
No, he did not.
No, but I did win the losers bracket, if that means anything.
That counts in my book.
All right. Okay. That was good. Let's move on to Coach of the Year. And I want to hear from you, Obi, to start us off. Who is your Coach of the Year this year?
Nah, I'm gonna wait for y'all to say something. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, go,
I
Joe.
want to be the last on this.
All right, Joe.
My guy Sean McDermott, Buffalo Bills, first AFC title since 1995. And get this, they were 11-3 against teams with a winning record. This guy obviously has done a great job developing Josh Allen. Was able to make a really good playoff run, despite the fact that his running backs were awful and couldn't get anything going. I just give this guy all the kudos in the world. I think he's going to be the guy. We all thought it was going to be the Ravens pushing the Chiefs every year. I think it's going to be Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills. So that's my guy.
Yeah, I had McDermott too. I like what he did. The development of Josh Allen, and then also working and bringing in the development of the wide receiver core. Everyone talks about them just bringing in Stephon Diggs, but their whole core in general at wide receivers done very well. And ever since last year, coming into with that main group coming into Buffalo, they've been just doing better and better. And obviously with Stephon Diggs, that's a big asset. The one thing though that makes it like why he's still in the conversation with these other coaches for me for Sean McDermott is he defensively he took a step back this year. Defense wasn't as good last year as it was this year. But I still like Sean McDermott. I still had him as my Coach of the Year. Who'd you have, Lucas?
I got Mr. Kevin Stefanski from the Cleveland Browns. I mean, you can't really knock a guy for taking a team to the playoffs for the first time in 18 years, and never mind winning a game for the first time in 26. And the Browns have also been looking for that coach to kind of right Baker's wrongs. And while Baker Mayfield by no means was an elite quarterback this year, he only threw 8 interceptions, and that was a career low by over 10. Excuse me, it was by 6, but nevertheless, it's less than 10 interceptions. And he threw 26 touchdowns and threw for 3,500 yards. So I think the combination of taking the Browns to the playoffs for the first time in a very, very long time and developing Baker Mayfield into not so terrible of a quarterback is the reason I got Stefanski.
I like that one. I like that a lot. Zay, who's your Coach of the Year?
My guy achieve as much as your guy. I got Ron Rivera. This guy took the Redskins.
Okay.
This team, he was dealing with cancer coming into the situation. You have a team that's dealing with a name change. They, 1.5 quarterbacks, all types of stuff going on, and he was still able to, get that team to rally together and win the division and actually play. Excuse me. What happened?
There was a sex scandal as well
Yeah.
that they were dealing with preseason.
Oh yeah, sex scandal. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to. But yeah, dealing with all that and win the division, for me, I think that's enough to give him Coach of the Year.
I like that.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all, Zay. He was kind of like on my mind when I picked McDermott. He would have been I wouldn't hate it if he won. Put it to you like that. I have no problem with that. And I think Stefanski too, like you said, Lucas, the way he was able to utilize Baker Mayfield properly. Again, you got to give kudos to him. They certainly got it down pat and made a nice run through the playoffs. So I think all three of those guys are certainly worthy. I'm sure Jace is going to say Joe Judge. So take it away.
No. I got this.
I agree with you, Sean McDermott. Who you got, Ovi?
I got. You're gonna love this one. No. I want to see everybody's faces. Are you ready? Hold yourself. I want to vote in Coach Doug Peterson because he was able to expose what all the coaches do when they don't make the playoffs.
So he gets like the Deep Throat Award. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. That's what I was looking for. Yes.
Yeah. The Deep Throat Award goes to Coach Peterson. I'm down for that.
For purposely tanking, even though my
anti-coach of the year.
Like Donald Trump, he exposed the truth. Now we know what a shit show it really is. Thanks for
but seriously.
Yeah, that's great.
And seriously, I agree with you. Sean McDermott is the guy that is well deserving, and I hope he wins. Everyone here has a valid point on theirs, but Sean McDermott taking the Bills that haven't been in the playoffs for so long, and they were close. I mean, it was a great game. Don't get me wrong for the AFC Championship, but to make it that far for the roster he had and that build up, I got to give credit to him.
Yeah, I mean, we did our bye week awards just like a couple months ago now, and this is the one thing I expect there to be the most change, and it was a lot. Like we unanimously pretty much had Mike Tomlin a couple months ago, and now we're all over the place, and none of us were really talking about Sean McDermott. So no one mentioned Ron Rivera. No one mentioned Kevin Stefanski. And I really like that. And, I mean, none of us talked about the two coaches that are going to be in the Super Bowl now. So that was very interesting. But now let's get back on the field, starting off with Defensive Player of the Year. And, Zay, why don't you lead us off here? Who's your Defensive Player of the Year?
Shocker, Myles Garrett. I think he really, really turned around his career after the whole incident with the whole helmet swinging. I thought it was over for him at that point. But he found a way to mature and turn around, and he actually, he became a presence on that defense. He became one of their best pass rusher. I can't get the amount of sacks off the top of my head right now, but to me, him and Vernon actually made that defense what it was in the front. So Myles Garrett is my Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay. All right. Joe, who do you got?
Oh, TJ Watt, man. What a year this guy had. One of the best pass rushes in the NFL. One of the best all-around linebackers. 15 sacks. That's the same amount of sacks as the entire Tennessee Titans team had combined. Led the league with 23 tackles for loss, 41 quarterback hits, 53 total tackles, an interception, 2 forced fumbles, 73 pressures. What else does a guy have to do? I know some people probably want to give it to what's his face from the Rams?
Darnold. Aaron Darnold. Yeah.
Dude, Watt's a better player and had a better year. And I know people want to do it. Stop. This guy is a beast every single week. And while that team was 11-0, he was probably 80% of the reason why.
And you know what? If he does win, He will be if I'm not mistaken, the first in NFL history to have both brothers win Defensive of the Year.
Damn.
I didn't know
Same
that.
family member.
Do you think that's going to happen, Ovi?
Well, the year started with a history in the making, and it will continue. Yes.
All right. Lucas, who you got as defensive player of the year?
Yeah, I got TJ Watt too. I mean, like Joe said, you can't even argue it. His impact was just far beyond anyone else's. So I got TJ Watt too.
Okay. All right. I'm going Aaron Donald. No better defensive tackle. This man dominates. I mean, the only reason that I think Aaron Rodgers was able to get the dub out of there was because in the playoffs was because Aaron Donald was hurt and he was playing banged up. I think if Aaron Donald's healthy, that's a completely different story. But it sucks that he was injured.
Really? Really?
Yes.
Because Chase Young's afternoon against Tom Brady, while quite healthy, was largely underwhelming. Sometimes those guys just get contained. So I don't know. That's all I'm saying. I don't know.
Like your stand can't contain your mic.
That's right.
Yeah, but I mean, sure, that would make a lot of sense, except the fact that Tom Brady plays for the Bucs and Aaron Rodgers plays for the Packers, and the Packers O-line is worse, especially with that Bacardi.
They played fine. They played fine.
Okay.
Stop making excuses. You're
comparing apples and oranges.
People.
No, you're comparing apples and oranges.
I'm talking about a more dominant defensive player than you are, and you're trying to make hypothetical excuses for him. I don't understand that.
You're comparing two similar but different things.
Who was more dominant?
Dominating the interior
Who was more
O-line.
dominant?
One person's dominating the exterior O-line.
Guys, who was more dominant?
No,
Watt
it's easier. It's easier. More dominant is Donald. I mean, I don't know where Watt just came from, but I mean, no.
Who's more dominant?
Donald's more dominant. Who had a better year? I mean,
who had better numbers in every
more
single
dominant
category?
is Aaron Donald. He's eating up double teams. When you're on that interior,
Who had
you're
more
eating up.
sacks?
You're
Who
eating
had
up
more tackles for
centers,
losses?
guards to free up.
Who had more quarterback hits? Who had more pressures?
Give the ends the one-on-ones. It's not just about the stats. It's other stuff on the field.
Right, like turnovers.
Okay.
And he helps create with
Lucas,
the
welcome to
73
Jones.
pressures that he put on. What are you talking about? Dude, he got to the quarterback like 100 times this year.
Okay. But I'm telling you that every play, regardless of anything, regardless if he gets to the quarterback, gets to the ball, Aaron Donald is making an impact on that play.
Okay.
Because he's lining up over the center. He's impacting the snap. He's impacting the ball.
And what happens? What happens when somebody runs 40 yards down the middle of the field on a draw? Is that his fault too, or no?
No one does that against the Rams.
No, I've seen it.
Okay. So, in other words, TJ Watt had a total of 15 sacks this season, and has hit the quarterback 41 times, while Aaron Darnold has 13 and a half sacks and reached to the quarterback 28 times in the backfield. So I'm still having kind of confused as to you talking about apples and oranges and all the other stuff.
Right.
There's no way that TJ Watt.
Obi, he's talking about a guy who had less of an impact being the better player, which I know is hilarious to hear.
Pass rush.
If TJ Watt was not playing defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers would not have the record what they have now. Well, how they finished. It wouldn't be there. They wouldn't even probably be in the playoffs.
Well, we're talking about the bigger impact in that team. Yeah, any one of these guys not on that team. We could make the same argument about.
Oh, we're not having the same argument. No.
What is the argument to make about the guy that had better numbers and a better season being the guy that wins the award? What's the argument? Like the other guy better?
Donald makes his team better. Well, I mean, you saw
TJ Watt was 11-0.
Yeah,
and they
he was
won their
11-0 with Bud Dupree, and then when Devin Bush got out,
and they won their division. Did the Rams win their division? Did the Rams win their division or no? You know the
I
answer.
don't remember.
No, they didn't.
But,
You know they
no,
didn't
they
win
didn't.
it.
Okay.
I wouldn't have asked if they did.
Listen, all right. But there's more than just stats when it comes to playing defensive line. That's what I'm trying
If
to
you
get.
didn't realize where that was going,
I knew where it was going. I just
You walked into
So
it.
do we
anyway.
have
I
to
don't care.
do we have to go inside the locker room to know more about it, or I mean,
Well, I'm trying to explain it to you guys, but y'all are
Chase
just.
Oh
needs a
no, we've
podcast
heard
with
your
professional
explanation.
offensive
Your
linemen.
explanation just keeps falling short. I don't know what else you
Whatever.
want me to tell you.
Okay. But let's move on.
Jason, you need a lineman show where you just break offensive, defensive lineman every week.
I'll do that. I can do that
You're
for
the
a solid
expert.
hour every week. But let's go.
You know what? I'm sure the fans will line up to listen to that.
Offensive player of the year, Joe. Who are you lining up to take as the best offensive player? I mean, this is basically the non-quarterback award because MVP's quarterback. This is non-quarterback.
Well,
whoa,
I
you
might have
just
gone
killed
in
it
a
then.
slightly different direction. My
All right,
offensive
go.
player of the year is Aaron Rodgers, 48 touchdowns, 5 picks. He had more touchdowns than the Packers had punts, 70% completion rate, a passer rating of 121.5, number 1 seed, best record in the NFC, best season of this guy's career. When you think about what he did it with, really mostly with Devontae Adams, made Robert Tonyan a fantasy stud this year with the 12 touchdowns. To me, it's not even close. Aaron Rodgers, offensively, the best season of his entire career, and he's not the MVP for me. And that's the reason why I gave him Offensive Player of the Year.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Joe. It could be argumentative between Rodgers, Derrick Henry, Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes, but Aaron Rodgers stood out stat-wise.
Statistically, baby.
There you go. Aaron Rodgers, Offensive Player of the Year. Can't argue with that.
All right.
I got for me, I got Derrick Henry. I mean, the dude rushed for 2,000 yards, and while I do think he should win MVP, I don't think he will. I mean,
I'll tell you why you're wrong in a minute, but that's fine.
No, I mean that's perfectly fine. I'd love to hear an argument because I think he deserves it. But I just don't think it'll happen. 2,000 yards is absolutely out of this world. I can't remember the last time I've seen that. 17 touchdowns. He not only carried the football, he carried the Tennessee Titans offense on his back. So that's why for me, Offensive Player of the Year, Derrick Henry, deserving of MVP for sure.
Toot, toot. Love the D train. Great pick.
What you got, Zay?
Hate to be that guy, but Adrian Peterson missed it by like 2 yards a couple of years back. So, but for me, it's Tom Brady. Psych. Aaron Rodgers. You out of your mind?
You really want to open the door right now, man?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Don't worry.
I'm in love with that
need to.
answer.
Anyway,
Go
yeah.
ahead,
Aaron
man.
Rodgers. Man was written off at the beginning of the year. They added no weapons in offseason. They drafted a quarterback. Everyone said it was over for him, and he went out and had the best career of his year, like Joe said. The best season of his career, excuse me. So it's Aaron Rodgers for me.
I want to carry on that one. And Joe said even before, like a lot of people tune into ESPN and everything else, and they want to add hype that the hype does not need to be there. And just because they got Jordan Love doesn't mean that they're taking a knife behind Aaron Rodgers' back. You know what I mean? Like they have to prepare themselves for the future. You know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers,
I think
38
even he
years old.
took it that way.
I didn't look at it. Yeah, I didn't say
I
it was
know
over.
we didn't, but it's like a lot of people looked at it like, oh my God, like this is big news. Why is it news? It shouldn't never be news. You know, it's like every year I got to hear, oh, the Dallas Cowboys might be doing something this year. No, they're not. Shut up. They're not doing nothing. But Aaron
they
Rodgers,
already predicted to win the
38
division.
years old, doing what he's doing, should have the same respect as like Tom Brady doing it when he's 43.
Ovi,
So, yes. Yeah, what's
if
up, man?
your wife moved the pool boy in to one of the rooms in your house,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, this isn't for now, but this is for when you're dead in a few years. I'm just going to keep him around. How would you feel about that?
I'll murder him in a heartbeat and just keep him in the attic until,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, well, Aaron Rodgers did the equivalent of that with the season he had.
When somebody like actually knocks on my door, be like, "Hey, can we check your attic?"
Yeah. Listen, the only person that mattered to was Aaron Rodgers. He was upset about it. You heard him just say the other day, he doesn't know what the future holds for next season. So I think that's pretty telling. I think he went out there and had a season for the ages because he's trying to set himself up for either this team commits to him for the near future or he's looking to move on. So
sometimes it's just emotions that get at you. When you lose, you got that sorrow in you because you tried your best.
I don't think that was the first time he thought that. I don't think it was in that moment.
I was gonna say I can't remember the last time that wasn't an off-season storyline. Aaron Rodgers leaving the Packers. So I agree with Joe. I don't think that's the first time that's crossed his mind.
Yeah, you guys remember when Garrett Cole came out after the playoffs when Houston beat the Yankees, and rather than wearing an Astros hat, he had his agent's hat on. I mean, that guy was like open for business, baby. To me, this is Aaron Rodgers putting it out there. If you're interested in a guy who's 37 years old and you want to give him 4 or 5 years, he's down to Brady it up. Although I don't think he's at that level, but he does.
All right. I mean,
Colts might try it.
Yeah, we'll see. A lot of teams looking for quarterbacks. A lot of teams doing some stuff. We'll see what happens there. But
all my Bears friends all want to see Aaron Rodgers at Soldier Field.
Jace, can I guess your offensive player of the year? Is it Mekhi Becton?
No, that was a good one, Lucas. No, but for me, I went with you, Lucas. I went Derrick Henry. I mean, we saw that team. No team has lived through one person more than Derrick Henry. Anytime that guy succeeds, that's the whole team succeeding. Anytime he struggles, that's the whole team struggling.
Yep.
He is that whole team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I put him at my offensive player of the year. But for MVP,
I'm just before you hit the MVP, I'm just surprised you didn't mention any offensive linemen and the Titans that deserves to be recognized. I mean, he got to have an offensive line for him to do something, right?
Yeah, who's the center for Tennessee? Maybe that should be the guy.
Should get the award.
No. Listen.
Houston's offensive line is the offensive player of the year.
You guys are ridiculous. All right, MVP.
All right.
You started it.
No,
obviously I didn't.
Because I picked an old lineman, I started it. No,
yes.
I'm starting off MVP. I'm starting on MVP.
Chase, let me explain something. When you do something first, as you did during Rookie of the Year, when you picked an offensive tackle as your Rookie of the Year, you started it because you did do it first. So we're going to remind you of that for the rest of this show, probably for all 4 downs after this. And then on this show, probably for the next several months.
Okay.
Now,
and I will live with dying on the hill of an offensive lineman. But I'm starting off MVP, Joe. I don't know what
you're not. I'm going to start off MVP.
It's Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Now be quiet for a minute. Let me explain why you're wrong.
Excuse me.
Listen, you could do your SpongeBob SquarePants MVP. Let me explain why you're wrong and why I made Aaron Rodgers my offensive player of the year. Derrick Henry obviously led the league in rushing, second year in a row. The last person to do that, anybody know? LaDainian Tomlinson back in 2006, 2007. Okay? Tomlinson had 1,815 yards. Last running back to win the MVP. Got it? This is exactly what Derrick Henry has done. He took from last season to this season, he got better. He put up better numbers than he did last year. Record-setting numbers. As you said, this team lives and dies by the D train. That's what an MVP is. And when you're a great player and then you have a superstar year, that's what an MVP is. To me, no question about it. If I don't know what else a running back can do in the NFL and be the MVP than what Derrick Henry did. And to try to pass him off with some BS Offensive Player of the Year, stick that up your pipe and smoke it. No thanks. This was the best player, the most valuable player by a mile. This wasn't a quarterback playing for a new contract or trying to win his city back because he's a loser.
I get that.
Big difference.
No,
MVP. Derrick Henry. Woo!
Okay, yeah, Derrick Henry was a big part of that team. But that team also has guys like Corey Davis and A.J. Brown, who are both solid wide receivers.
Oh, wow. 2 solid
Aaron
wide receivers. That solves all their problems.
No,
what
yes, that helps.
Name are you talking?
You
Devontae Adams is the best wide receiver in football.
Only because he's had Aaron Rodgers. If Devontae Adams were to have come up in a
You're not really saying that.
Or
you're not really saying that. You're telling me if Devontae Adams was with Justin Herbert, your hero, that he wouldn't put up huge numbers?
What
if he was with Tom Brady? Yeah, he would what? He's going to put up scrub numbers?
No,
that's what you just said.
Same number.
You just said it.
No, I didn't say that. I did not say that. I said Devontae Adams would not be the same without Aaron Rodgers.
What did he say?
He always finds one wide receiver. He always finds this wide receiver that he loves, and he picks his guy. Jordy Nelson, when he went from the Packers to the Raiders, was he as great with the Raiders as he was with the
74 years old.
It's out there.
When Randall Cobb went from the Packers to
Randall Cobb had a heart attack.
They didn't do anything. Aaron Rodgers, he would have pulled out. He finds a good wide receiver. He uses them as much as he can. Everything around him is scrubs. And the Packers are only as good as Aaron Rodgers because they don't have a front office doing anything.
The other stupid thing you said was you said Derrick Henry was a big part of that. After 2 minutes ago, when you were talking about Offensive Player of the Year, you were like, that whole offense runs behind Derrick Henry. A minute later, you change your argument to, well, he was part of it. They've got 2 solid receivers. I could take what you said a minute and a half ago, run it back, and make you look like a fool. Get out of here with that nonsense.
No, but when you fake the ball off to Derrick Henry and you can throw it to a guy like A.J. Brown, that's really good. When you fake the ball,
he was hurt for a few games this year. How'd they do that?
Football to? Who do you snap the football to? You snap it to Aaron Rodgers.
2,000 yards.
Offensive play.
2,000 yards. That's it. What else he needs to know?
He's great, and that's why he's an offensive. That's why he's not MVP. I don't like that, Joe. I don't like that the MVP is always a quarterback. That's
you don't have to go with it then. You don't have to fall for the hype. It's not a quarterback award.
It is.
By the way, the last guy that did what that did what Derrick Henry does won the MVP in 2006.
2012.
Devontae Smith should be the Heisman. It's a quarterback award. Oh, Devontae Smith. Give me a break.
2012, Adrian Peterson rushed for 2,097 yards and won MVP. But again, who's listening, right?
Zay, who's your MVP then?
Oh, I can talk now?
Yeah.
For me, I don't want to get too much into it. For me, it's Pat Mahomes. Because you see what happens when he gets hurt. You're worried that the team is going to completely lose the game and miss but that's just for me. I don't want to get any more into it because I don't want to have an argument with anyone. Lucas, who's your MVP?
So it was tough for me between these two guys. Obviously Aaron Rodgers had a season to remember, but I think Patrick Mahomes, like Zay said, he hasn't left the top since he got there, and I think he deserves it. He 4,700 yards, 38 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. I mean, the guy hasn't lost an NFL game by more than one possession. I don't even think he's trailed an NFL game by more than one possession. No, I'm wrong. That Texans game last year. The thing is, he hasn't lost an NFL game by more than one possession, and that's impressive. And that just speaks to who he is. I think he's a very dominant player. I think he controls the game more than any other quarterback can in the league. You can argue Aaron Rodgers is up there with him, but I'll agree with Isaiah. I think Patty Mahomes is at the top, and he's not leaving anytime soon.
Well, thank you, buddy. Other side.
I like Mahomes. I like Henry, but Joe, I'm gonna put some facts into this. Aaron Rodgers threw 48 touchdown passes right? He has the highest quarterback rating out of everybody. That's including Mahomes. Mahomes, what he got, 4,700 yards compared to 4,200, doesn't matter. But Aaron Rodgers threw less interceptions in the game. And if you want to base on that, I got Aaron Rodgers, MVP.
All right.
They already crowned him at the beginning, so it's not going to be a surprise if he wins this year.
Yeah, you're right.
And I don't think Patrick Mahomes even cares. I think the only focus he cares about is getting 2 rings back to back. So it is what it is.
Was that you, Joe?
Yeah, that's Joe commenting.
All these comments are rolling in. What do you want me to do? Not acknowledge them?
Yeah, I mean,
Just rolling in with the comments. These are what the people are saying.
Hey, I've never actually seen Alexander Qualich in real life. That could be your burner account, Joe.
But Hector also agreed. Derrick Henry, because of course it's hard to be rushing over 2,000 yards. Very hard.
It is tough.
Anybody remember when Terrell Davis did it and they didn't give him the MVP award?
Do you remember?
That was
the biggest joke in the history of sports.
Do you remember Carlos?
Who? I don't think there was ever a Carlos running back in the league.
Juan Carlos, man. He was running every day.
All right. All right. That's a good way to think
about it. Juan Carlos, I got to Google this shit.
All right.
The minute there's a Carlos in the league, I need his jersey.
All right. Let's get on to the most prestigious award for the drawing about the G-Men Awards. We are going to be handing out the 2021 New York Giant of the Year. Joe, you look stressed out.
I'm afraid Shane Lemieux suddenly in the conversation, and I fear that.
He's going to say Andrew Thomas.
All right, Zay, who you
Matt Hurt.
Who you going to say, Zay? Hit me with your Giant of the Year.
My guy for me, Leonard Williams, believe it or not. This man, I think he played for his contract, and he showed that he deserves a contract next year, whether it's with the Giants or some team. He solidified that defensive line. He had a complete 180 from his Jets career, and I never thought I'd say this, but I hope the Giants bring back Leonard Williams. I was completely against them franchising him. Completely.
All right. Lucas, who you got?
My Giant of the Year is a player who was a part of a unit, I believe, really solidified the Giants team this year, was the best part of our team by far, and that's the defense. I have Mr. James Bradberry as my Giant of the Year. He had 3 picks, which isn't a lot, but it's still a lot. He had the career low in yards allowed and yards per completion, and he made his first Pro Bowl. So I believe James Bradberry was really a solid piece to this New York Giants defense. I think he's a number 1 corner for sure, and I'm glad we locked him up.
All right. Ovi, you gonna stir up some more controversy?
Don't use the Pro Bowl.
Don't use the Pro Bowl.
It's different this year.
Wait, let me guess. It's Saquon Barkley if he had played the whole season.
Nah, I got someone better than that.
Xavier McKinney.
If he would have played, no, stop. I got Graham. I had Graham Cano. I got the place kicker. He scored 114 points. He only missed 1 field goal. He kept the points there for the New York Giants, man. So when they couldn't score those touchdowns, he was the guy that kept the team close.
I love Graham Cano. That's a good pick.
I'm not mad at
Hey,
it.
watch this. Right there, buddy. What you got, Jace?
I'm going with the best linebacker in the NFL, wearing number 54 for Big Blue, the league leader in tackles. Blake Martinez, he's brought a new dynamic. The Giants have not had a middle linebacker like that since Antonio Pierce, and Antonio Pierce I don't even think was on that level. I love Blake Martinez. He's a solid centerpiece to make a great defense around and a possible Super Bowl winning defense. Well, what's wrong, Zay?
That was so disrespectful. That was so disrespectful.
He's better than
oh,
Antonio
God.
Pierce.
I think
The
he
guy
had
with the
more
Super
skills.
Bowl championship.
No, yes, you didn't let me fit. You didn't listen to everything I said, Zay. I said he can be the focal point to build around on this defense to win another Super Bowl. He can do he can do the same stuff that Antonio Pierce did. I think he can go a little bit beyond.
You realize that was Green Bay's throwaway, right? That was the Green Bay's trash that we picked up off the side of the curb, right?
Yeah,
he's going to be the centerpiece of our defense.
Yes, because he's leading the league 2 years in a row in tackles. No one can play middle linebacker like this guy. He's a tackling machine.
I knew you were going to say.
You know, there's more to playing little linebacker than tackling, right?
Yeah.
No, listen, wait. Zay, understand that for him, his argument changes, his logic changes with everything he says. Stats don't matter, but they do when it's a middle linebacker. Yeah, we get it. Are we done with this? Blake Martinez.
I've been saying
a worthy pick.
Week 1 that Blake Martinez is the best middle linebacker in the NFL. Am I wrong?
Not. He's very good. He's top 5. But listen, he's not the Giants, the Giant of the Year. It's Leonard Williams. Twice in the last 5 weeks of the season, Leonard Williams was the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. 3 sacks, 20 yards for loss, 5 quarterback hits, and 2 big pressures when the Giants beat the Cowboys for the first time in 4 years. 11.5 sacks, which was 7.5 more than anyone else on this team. 4.5 better than his previous high. 11 more than he had in 2019, and 6 less than he had the first 5 years of his entire career. The most by a Giant player since Jason Pierre-Paul had 14.5 in 2014. Remember we used to have a pass rush? Well, it's back. Giants had 40 sacks this season. That's their best since having 47 in 2014. It is not even close who the Giant of the Year is. This is the Giants' best player right now.
All right. I mean, you can make the argument that Dalvin Tomlinson ate up a bunch of blocks for him.
We're just gonna move on. I honestly, I'm not gonna yell at you anymore tonight.
All right. Okay.
In other news, DeAndre Baker's about to get a Super Bowl championship after being kicked off the Giants for being a criminal. Imagine that, right? Jason Pierre-Paul can never lead another defense to the championship, according to Jerry Reese.
Well, my problem with the teams like the Chiefs and the Buccaneers is teams that are mercenary, like the Cleveland Browns. You'll hire anybody. You don't give a crap what their criminal arrest record looks like or what they do to women or to their wives. I mean, the Chiefs had a player a few years ago murder his wife and then kill himself. So I don't know. I mean, would I rather be the Giants and have a franchise with integrity? Yeah, probably. I don't really want wife beaters, scumbags, and rapists.
Yep. All right. Now.
Anyway, there's a Super Bowl happening soon.
No. Huh? Yes. Let's get.
Oh, Jace down.
See what you made him do, Joe?
Yeah, Joe. Get me riled up. All right. Super Bowl 55 in Tampa. Not this Sunday, next Sunday, as Tom Brady, first team to host the Super Bowl, as Tom Brady and the Bucs take on Patty Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Joe, is this Super Bowl going to be a passing of the torch? Is this going to be Tom Brady passing it off to Patrick Mahomes?
Sure. I think win, lose, or draw, whatever happens here. I think that's what it's going to be. I don't know that Tom's going to even bother playing next year. I don't know why he would, especially if he wins this game. But, the GOAT, the kid's what a little goat is. That's hilarious. Who doesn't love that? Tom Brady,
Me.
playing in his home. I mean, the first quarterback ever to start a game in his home stadium. I mean, that is fitting that it would be Tom Brady. It's going to be a really cool game. I don't know that I care either way who wins. I know I'm just going to enjoy it, eat and drink a lot. It's going to be, I would assume, a very entertaining game. But I'll be 1,000% honest. I really don't care. I'll watch it because, of course, I'll watch it. But I don't. I mean, this will be one of those games where if the Chiefs are up 10, I'll be like, "Come on, Tommy, come on, baby." And if the Bucs happen to come back, I'll be like, "Come on, Patty, what do you got now, kid?" It'll be one of those games for me. I won't decide who I want to win until it's like almost decided, and then who's ever losing, I'll want to see them come back and win. That's how I see this one going down for me. I have rooted for Tom Brady in a couple of Super Bowls, and I do find it to be fun. So we'll see what happens.
On the other hand, I've never rooted for Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
So you going for Tom Brady on this one?
You asking me? I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
We don't got to make picks. Just talk about the game. Ovi, I know you're doing like sign
I'm ready.
I want
to analyze this a little bit more.
See, that's what it means. I agree with you. See, hand and arm signal. I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You learned that in school. Yes.
I just do that.
No, we don't do that. No, that's violence. Stop the violence.
I agree with you agreeing with me here. That's what I'm doing.
With this too. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting for the weekend to see that performance. That's what I'm looking forward to in the halftime show.
Okay. All right. Zay, what does the Tampa Bay defense have to do to slow down Patty Mahomes?
I don't even tackle him. Hope he gets hurt. I don't know. That's there's not many more questions. Intercept the ball, play defense. There's nothing much you can really do to Pat Mahomes. He can do it all. So the best you can do is just try to play your position and hope it works out for you in the end. There's not much you can do.
All right. How do you think, Zay? How do you think Brady's gonna do here? What do you expect him coming out? This
Like
possibly being his last Super Bowl.
Why are you doing this to me, man? Why are you doing this to me?
Come on. Let's go. Oh, of course.
I'll jump in for a second here. I just want to say this is going to be an exciting game. But you know what? I don't know if I'll be here next week, so I'm going to make a pick. I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs, simply for the reason I have no other reason to think that Tyreek Hill won't go off again like he did in week 12 there. 13 catches for 270 yards and 3 touchdowns. So good luck stopping that, Tampa. That's all I have to say.
All right. I mean, Joe, I'll bounce this question since I didn't get it an answer from Zay. What does Kansas City have to do to? I mean, the Bucs defense have to do to slow down Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill?
Well, I mean, look, I don't know that you're going to stop either one of these offenses. To be quite honest, I don't know if that's even necessarily in the cards, but it seems like pressure will be key. As far as Tom Brady, I mean, we see it. I mean, you get some pressure on Tom Brady, and you could make things happen. You can say the same thing about Pat Mahomes, but nobody ever really gets pressure on the guy. They get close, but even when they get close and closer, he seems to always find a way to
it's too quick.
Again, some of those crazy throws he makes. I mean, it's again. I struggle with this because I'm like, I don't know, is he really that good? And then I watch it, I'm like, yeah, he is, but he can't be, but he is. And I don't know. I don't know how you stop him. I mean, he's got a ton of weapons. Both guys do. Yes. So to me, it's going to be whichever defense plays the best. I think that's. I think somebody just said in the comments, this is going to probably come down to the last possession. I would hope so. I would think so. I mean, Tampa Bay's defense was pretty great. They had a lot of success on the slant routes, but Brady also threw 3 picks on those slant routes. He had 11.5 yards of air for every throw. I mean, he put on a clinic. He was great, but I mean, 3 big turnovers. Usually you turn the ball over 3 times on the road, you lose a game. So Brady certainly can't do that, but look, Kansas City's defense, to me, overrated. I thought the offense was going to be rusty. They don't skip a beat. They've won 25 of the last 27 games. I don't know. I mean, to me, if I'm the coordinators, especially the defensive coordinators, and again, you got 2 really good defenses. I mean, this is a nightmare for the next couple of weeks trying to figure out, oh my God, how do I stop these guys? I think you have a better chance at stopping Brady. But then again, the reason I picked the Bucs last week was Tom Brady does Tom Brady kind of things. So you always have to consider that. Pat Mahomes, the best quarterback in the game, on the best team, with the best coach. He's not overrated by any stretch of the imagination, based on that old fun argument we've had. He's the best. They're the best team. They're the defending champions. Again, I'm inclined to say right now, I think Kansas City, but I factor in, again, Brady at home. This could be his last game, assuming he wins it, right? He does it at home in Tampa. Everybody's screaming the guy's name. They're like, where are you going now? He goes, Disneyland, and they get in the car and they actually drive with him to Disneyland. He's there in like 45 minutes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
all the way.
Dude, all sorts of storybook in this Super Bowl. It's going to be amazing, but how do you stop them? You don't. I think the team that scored last probably wins this football game.
There's a way. And if they take the Giants blueprint and look at those past Super Bowls, how we got Tom Brady, you put pressure on him. Don't give him a chance to throw the ball. You can't do that to Mahomes because he's able to be mobile. He's a dual threat. So, and right now, as it stands, Kansas City's favorite by 3 points. That's where it started. Some bookies got it at -3.5. I know it's still early, but as of right now, 64% of the wagers are in favor of Kansas City. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see if this spread actually increases or decreases by the time we hit to the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna pay attention to that.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Make sure you pay attention to how the line moves. Now, Zay, we're going to get to you in a little bit. We're going to let you go off on Tom Brady. But before we get to that, I mean, Ovi okay. We'll still let you go. We'll still let you go off on Brady. But before we get to Zay, Lucas, which team? I mean, both these teams very well known for for throwing the football. Which team do you think would benefit more from getting their run game going in this matchup?
Definitely Kansas City. I mean, I think they have Clyde Edwards, they have Le'Veon Bell, who's basically been a non-factor. I mean, you can't even count him as a running back on that team, but I think if Kansas City can get their run game going, they can better disguise the pass and they can run some more play action, RPO kind of stuff. And their offense, if they had a great run game, I believe would be, I mean, they're already the best in the league. I don't even know what to say. It'd be virtually unstoppable. I think that a run game would benefit Kansas City more just because I think they'd put up an unsurmountable amount of points.
No, yeah, I believe last week Patrick Mahomes was 14 for 14 on play action, which is insane. But Zay, all right, give us your thoughts on Brady. Home Super Bowl outside of New England, first year in new place. What do you expect from Tom Brady going into this big game?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Well, just because I'm going to talk crap, I know Brady's going to do the opposite. But I'm sure he's going to do like most of his Super Bowls, play like crap the first half, then make a little comeback at the end and hope for a field goal to defense to save him like always. Or maybe a stupid call by the Seahawks on the 1-inch line where you decide to throw the ball instead of run the ball with the best running back in the NFL. But, who knows? But like I said, Brady will probably have a decent game. He'll probably, like I said, play better in the second half than he does the first half. And probably lead his team to a victory and walk off in the sunset like the perfect life he has. With his perfect family, perfect boat.
All right.
I'm not going to black on him today, people. It's not worth it for me.
Okay. All right.
I've already prepared for him to win. I'm already expecting him to win. I don't, it's whatever.
Okay. All right.
It's annoying.
Yeah,
for sure.
So say they lose, and then not next week, but the week after that, are you going to come in here and have a party? A dance on Brady's grave party?
Forget it, of course. I might buy me a Chiefs jersey.
Oh, that's great.
You can hate Tom Brady. That is perfectly cool. You can root against Tom Brady. I've done it many times. But to not give the guy his proper respects at this point, Zay.
I can't deny his championships. He has them. I can't deny it. He's won the most championships of any quarterback. He is the best at the top. I can't deny that. But that alone.
Lose him again?
Stopped him right in his tracks.
Oh, goddamn. But I had an interesting conversation with one of my friends. He brought up this article, and or no, it wasn't an article, it was a video. I don't know. I was talking to my friend about it. One guy said Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback of all time. Tom Brady's just the most winning quarterback of all time. And I get that. If you're in a game and it's a 2-minute drill, you're down by 1, who do you have more faith in to get you that one last drive? To get you to drive down the field, get that touchdown? Are you going to take Tom Brady, who, while it might not be the most flashy thing, sure, he might be able to work his way down there slowly and methodically? Or do you know a guy like Aaron Rodgers who's shown on the field a lot of times he can do it, but in the big moments, he's come up a little short?
If you have to throw a Hail Mary, I'll give you Aaron Rodgers every day. That's for damn sure.
No, yeah, but like there's
what he's trying to say is Aaron Rodgers is the most physically talented quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Brady is probably the best statistical quarterback in history. I'll give him that.
Yeah, one is a better on the field quarterback. One's a better quarterback off the field everywhere else. In the mental game everywhere else. But I mean, when it comes down to talent, what?
Where else is he a quarterback? That was very confusing.
No, on the field, between the lines, when the ball gets snapped, I take Aaron Rodgers. When it comes to setting up, when it comes to the training camp, when it comes to prep, when it comes to film, when it comes to understanding plays, I'm taking Brady in every other category. That's what I'm saying. Do you not agree with that?
Yes and no. It's yes and no. In order for you to get to that level where you can do all those things, you have to be good at the things outside of football, like the film room and the weight room and on the practice field. So I believe Rodgers excels in that too. But like I said, I would go more physically gifted quarterback as opposed to Brady being a more statistical quarterback. He wins more games. He wins more championships. He has the stats behind him, where Rodgers is the more flashier quarterback, like you would say.
Yeah. I think that quarterback might be one of the only positions in sports. Or we can have this conversation. Would you rather have the guy who's does everything, all the stuff around, or the guy that's just a physical specimen? Everyone would just want this physical specimen who can throw the ball so much. So in any other position on the field in football, that's the guy you want. When it comes to quarterback, it's different. There's no other sport there's no other position in any other sport that's like that.
It depends. I'd rather take the running back that could pick up the block on defense as opposed to the running back who runs down the sideline super fast. For me, that's just how I'd rather build my team. But if you want to go with the more physically gifted, I guess that's on you. I'm taking the guy that can pick up the blitz.
All right, I get that. But I mean, that's a whole different topic for another day. And I'm sure we got a lot of free time during this offseason to dive into more stuff like that. But that will be it for this rendition of Jawing About the G-Men. Thank you, Lucas, for joining us. Make sure you check out Posting Up Podcast every Tuesday at 5 p.m. and every Saturday at 1. Make sure you check them out. Myself and Zay are on there as well. And for myself, Big Jace, for Joe Aguirre, for King Zay, for Lucas Bulldog, and obviously Ovi Muniz, who I had to go set up for all 4 downs. Make sure you check that up. Coming up right after this, part of CMG Sports, make sure you go to clovercrestmedia.com, check out one of over 30 different podcasts, or if one doesn't really pique your interest, if you don't like a podcast, start your own. That's what Joe likes to say. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for joining me. Take care, and we hope to see you next time.
The Cross'em Wrestling Entertainment Podcast, presented by Clovercrest Media, is what you AEW fans have been looking for. Noah Cross and Tyler Bard give their take on every week's episode of Dynamite. If you are a massive AEW fan, then it is time to join us every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Stay Cross'em.